Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we're going to start with the nation. Planned strike, NLC, keeps federal government in suspense. Tribunal voids 165,000 NNPC votes, sacks Kano governor. Shareholders accuse AMCON of depleting Arik Air's fleet from 19 to 2. Oluremi, my wife, friend, partner, says Tinubu. Dangote refinery, we will take off with crude from NNPCL. Ondo House steps up moves to remove deputy governor. And Ogun plans trial for suspected Shagamu cultists. Okay, let me stay on the First Lady's birthday. Her husband has sent her a congratulating message to her. According to him, he was celebrating his wife of 35 years, who has been a friend and partner. According to him, she stuck with him over the years to face the various experiences and moments that have defined their relationships and their lives and struggles. The president recalled that the First Lady had been his companion in the fight against tyranny, recalling all sacrifices she had made in the past struggles they had faced together. I remember there was a time when he was on exile, and she had to hold the front and just stay on and believe and trust that, you know, he was making the right decisions and choices. So, indeed, 36 years is not a joke. And congratulations to the First Lady again. Happy birthday. Many happy returns.
Happy birthday. So, I've got news from Kano State. A lot of us, you know, are aware that 4 months after the inauguration of the Kano State Governor Abba Yusuf, yesterday, the Election Tribunal, according to report, they say he has been sacked. The Election Tribunal in Bauchi State, however, still affirmed the Governor Bala Mohammed's victory. It said that Mohammed was properly declared winner by INEC. In Enugu State, we have Governor Peter Mba, who contested on the platform of PDP, but they're the tribunal as well. And so he's been challenged by Chijoke Edoaga of the Labour Party, and will know their own fate as of today. So in continuation of what has happened in Kano State, they said the court has ordered INEC to withdraw the certificate of return that had been presented to Yusuf and issue a new certificate to Gawuna, who was the deputy governor under the former governor of Kano State, that's Abdullahi Ganduje. We have the APC chairperson has accepted it as the will of God, but NNPP has rejected the verdict, describing it as a miscarriage of justice, and also vows to head for the Court of Appeal. There were reasons why the Election Tribunal thought he did not win, and so these were the reasons. They said the grounds are one, first of all, Yusuf's non-membership of the NNPP, the non-compliance with the Electoral Act and total lawful votes, invalid ballot papers used in the election. So 165,666 votes were declared invalid, and they said maybe one of the reasons a few of the reasons that could be is that some of the ballot papers may not have been signed or have the mark of INEC on it and was used. But there are situations where that happens if the election officer on ground believes that it still comes from INEC, even if the mark is not there. But obviously, the election tribunal feel that this was not properly marked by INEC, and so those were the votes that were marked invalid, and that's how.
Yeah. All right. Another story.
I have the major headline. They said the federal government is saying that it has no fears about a potential economic shutdown by NLC, and last Monday's meeting that they had was deadlocked. Both parties failed to see eye to eye on some of the things that the labor union had demanded. But the federal government is saying that they don't think there's any problem. They don't have fears about any of the things that Labour has put on the table, and also suggestions of the package that they have presented to the federal government. They have no fears about this. That's the Minister of Labour, Simon Lalong, was saying this. And he also had a private meeting with the Vice President Kashim at the Aso Villa. When he came out, he said they are still having talks. They are not afraid of any strike. We know that the 21-day ultimatum that was given will be ending, I think, today. So if there's any strike that's going to happen, it's going to likely happen on Friday, but they haven't heard anything from NLC. NLC hasn't given any demands to their people to come out for that strike. So we are hoping that probably the negotiations will yield fruits and the economy will not be shut down.
Okay, any story for you, Ronke, in Mission?
Yes, I have a story from Japa to Japada. Okay, so it's just something around education. It says our educational and social systems must quit churning out products of a cultural void, casualties of a system that produces graduates who have been taught to cheat the system and applaud theft as shrewd corporate strategy. The true purpose of education must be to make minds, not social cannibals. Education must furnish us with per choice. So somebody is trying to express frustration over the increasing rate of young graduates that aspire to leave the country, and it's all around our cultural background, helping us to see that we can do better as a nation. And
all right.
Yeah.
Done?
Done, yeah.
All right. Then we move on now to the Punch. APC tackles Atiku as U.S. court grants ex-VP's requests. Lagos road collapses after downpour. Residents groan. Mohbad's wife seeks Falana's intervention. Ekiti Assembly demands justice. Strike. NLC ultimatum ends today. FG allays fear. Naira tumbles to 980 naira to the dollar. Forex shortage worsens. And misconduct. Ondo Assembly begins process to impeach Deputy Governor. Okay, which story?
Well, in Ondo State, the House of Assembly has commenced the process of removing the state deputy governor, Mr. Lucky Aiyedatiwa, over alleged misconduct. Well, we remember that immediately the governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, got back. First of all, the media aides for the deputy governor were let go. Many of them were let go. But now the State House of Assembly is also saying that there had been a petition. 9 out of 17 members had signed that, alleging some sort of misconduct and asking for him to come before them and respond to it. And also, they're looking to impeach him. And I'm saying now, wow, I mean, we've just finished with Edo State. We're here in Ondo State. This governor-deputy governor relationship is a bit...
It's a fight of egos sometimes, you think?
Is it just that?
I don't know.
But in just how many months?
The man was sick, he went off, and you took over, and then there's an issue of, okay, maybe you're trying to be governor, and toss back and forth, but he's back now.
When he takes over, he's governor.
Yes, he should do the work.
But it says misuse of office.
What does that mean?
They must have gone far.
That once
you need to go and coach these people. Honestly, you need to be coached. You need to coach these people. Coaching. You need coaching.
Honestly.
Let's move on to another story. The picture story, actually, in Punch. The section of the road linking Ikotun roundabout to Ejigbo and other neighboring communities in Lagos State has collapsed. The picture is quite devastating in the Punch. The road just by the canal caved in after a downpour on Saturday, September 16th. The damage had since left motorists plying the route in fear over an imminent accident resulting from a total collapse of the section. So there's a part of it that is still left. People are worried that entire section might actually collapse. But they're hoping that the government can help to look at it and see what can be done. The road was in a better shape before the erosion from the canal started to damage it. The damage has been going on for years, according to these reports. Besides, the roads lacked proper maintenance since they were built on the canal. It also would not have got to this level if the maintenance was properly carried out. So we need government to really, really help us look at that road. I mean, the picture is horrible here. And they're thinking that the rest of it might actually collapse soon if nothing is done.
So still on the Mohbad story, the human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, said yesterday that Omowunmi, wife of the deceased musician Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mohbad, visited him to demand justice for the late husband. And, he says that he asked, after the visit, which he, commiserated with her over the death of the husband, he had a meeting with the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Idowu, and at that meeting, he was assured that investigation has started already, and he also promised the widow that they were going to do whatever it takes to give justice, help her get justice, and also commended the peaceful protest that has been happening across states on that, saying that everybody is working hand in hand to ensure that proper investigation is done. Also in Ekiti State, the House of Assembly raised the motion as well to make sure that there's proper investigation done on the Mohbad's case here, saying that there are a lot of different stories on the cause of death. We need to find out exactly what killed him and all the people who are responsible will be
What's
held.
the Ekiti State connection? Is it
I
from
think maybe it's from there.
Yeah.
And I must commend all the celebrities who have been speaking up on this. I mean, I know Yabo Ojo has been on this, and even if we look at Aramola, a few of them have really been speaking up, trying to ensure there's justice. And I'm happy that they all had a meeting with the Commissioner of Police yesterday, and maybe that's what led to their cancellation of the protest, the work they were going to have today. But I'm happy that it's ongoing, and hopefully, and Nigerians are calm. Yes, we're protesting in the right way, waiting for justice to be served. So we'll continue to follow.
Well done.
Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing the papers. Let's move on now to Daily Sun. Curfew in Kano as tribunal sacks governor, fear in other states. My petition was technically knocked out, Obi tells Supreme Court. Labour alleges fresh move to sell 110 Unity schools. Mohbad, Kaduna radio bans songs by Naira Marley's record label. Ondo Assembly moves to sack Deputy Governor over 300 million naira bulletproof SUV. Potential voters in Imo's yet to collect 134,000 PVCs for Guba election, says INEC. And 5 trillion naira accrued into federal accounts in 6 months, says federal government. Okay, which story are we taking in Daily Sun?
And then we take the continuation of Mohbad's story. So in Kaduna State, a privately owned radio station, Invicta 98.9, has announced on its Facebook page that, this on Tuesday, first of all, it was commending, so they've announced that from henceforth, all employees should stop playing all the songs produced by the Naira Marley record label. They said that in light of the current details emanating from the death of the artist, their radio station will stop giving airtime to any song by any artist from the Naira Marley record label. They said that this is because they believe, so sorry, I missed it, but it was something that they believe that so they're saying that for them, entertainment industry is where talent is supported and celebrated and not turned into an evil fraternity consuming the souls of young people who want to make a positive impact in the world. And so with, everyone that's protesting, they're also lending their voice to this. And I feel that this is such a powerful and positive move. And it shows how seriously, that Nigerians are taking this particular case, because however it is finally investigated and however it turns out, it will be a turning point for the music industry and how we treat signees.
Exactly. I think you're very absolutely correct. Okay, so the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has petitioned the Supreme Court, saying that the presidential election petition court had relied heavily on technicalities to knock out his petition against the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And he had provided 51 grounds of appeal lodged against the appeal court's judgment. He also said that the tribunal, sorry, let me take that again. The tribunal actually, as I said earlier, depended heavily on technicalities, and specifically, the tribunal, he questioned they were taking decisions on issues of law that adversely affected his case and resulted in the grievous denial of his fair hearing. He also said that he contended the appeals decision on the fact that the judgment of the PEPC was against the weight of evidence adduced before the court. According to him, the various evidences by the primary witnesses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 were removed, were denied, and shouldn't have been expunged as evidences in the case because on technical grounds. He argued that the evidences of the subpoenaed witnesses were not required to be filed along the petition by the combined reading of the various sections within the Constitution. Either way, he has approached the Supreme Court, and we're also waiting for Atiku's petition because both of them have agreed to go to the Supreme Court to get justice, and we'll see how that goes in the coming days or weeks.
Yeah, so organized labor under the auspices of the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria are raising alarm. They raised this alarm yesterday, saying that there's this call to sell off Unity schools to private individuals, and said about 20 years ago, the President Olusegun Obasanjo at the time was planning to sell about 110 federal government colleges to, private individuals, which was botched. It didn't happen. But now the call is coming up again, and they are warning everybody, saying that if you are a Nigerian who has money and you are interested in running the educational system, go and build your own schools. That in other climes, people, individuals, well-meaning individuals, civil societies, organizations will build fantastic schools, hospitals, and then donate to the government. But here we have hungry portfolio people with greedy politicians conniving to sell off government property, and that is not acceptable. So they are calling on union movements, royal fathers, religious organizations, civil society groups, parent-teacher associations, student union, leaders of thought, men and women of good conscience. Everybody needs to unite and fight against this. And, they went ahead to give the history of how the federal government colleges started. I think it was in 1966. After the...
It's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
It's an interesting topic because it's just that we say governments can't do enough. They're not paying salaries.
Yes.
We can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result.
No, the problem with selling to individuals is they sell to their people. And then the private, everything can...
If I sell to my people and they're going to actually fix education education...
In a country, we must have federal government-owned schools.
What if because
we must have
we were told that government...
And you didn't allow me to give the history of how it started. It was to unite Nigerians. So they had one in the north, they had one in the southeast, they had one in the southwest, so that students from across can mingle. We are trying to integrate.
I'm not objecting.
Nigerians,
I think it's a good idea.
Even in outside climes where we know we talk about quality education, where we have private-owned schools and all of that, government still has a role to play in giving schools so that the people, the vulnerable people, will be able to afford
I agree
some of
with
the
you.
schools.
It's not our hot topic.
Build your own school.
That is how you feel. No problem. And then it's a valid view.
Yeah.
I'm also saying that is it possible that government has no business doing business?
No,
in the sense, I'll let you talk now.
Can I
Okay,
say
it's
something?
not about your views, about Obiajilu's view.
No, but
Exactly.
it's a constitution issue. In fact, doctor, don't flex muscle. It won't happen. Yeah.
But it's good to have different...
I want to quote Section 18 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which stipulates, among other things, that government shall direct its policies towards ensuring that there are equal and adequate educational opportunities at all levels.
That's different ways. I'm just saying that we've had issues with our education for many years. If we keep doing this same thing, we continue to get the same results. Is it possible we should open our mind to the possibility of partnering with private sectors who actually are experts in education? How many government people really know about education? If I say, for example, you're an expert, you're an educator, and I say, no, let me sell to you. The issue is that many of us already assume I will be selling to my friend. What if I sell to an educator who actually can expand and ensure that we get quality education? There are different ways of looking at it.
I think that's
they're different. It's not our topic.
Yeah.
We spend too much time.
There's a difference between being an educator and understanding the business of school.
It's the same thing. Either way, you're absolutely correct. But I'm just saying that let us be open to options.
We have to bring this as a hot topic.
Okay, we'll make it a hot topic. Any other story in Daily Sun? Should we move on to Vanguard? Pressure on petrol, diesel prices as crude hits $97. Let's find a story we've not taken. Oshodi Apapa Expressway gridlock, commuters groan as Sanwo-Olu Port Police look on. Tinubu Lagos hail Oluremi at 63. Mohbad celebrities, youth fans storm Lagos, Osun Delta as protests enter day 2. And political cases taking monumental toll on judiciary. CGN laments. Okay, which story? Anybody?
The major headline.
Okay.
So, they said there are indications that pressures are mounting on the pump price of petrol as the landing cost has risen by 19.3% to 596 naira 93 kobo per litre as at yesterday, from about 500 per litre in July. And, the marketers are saying that this is because of the rise in crude oil prices in the international market, as well as the exchange rate volatility in Nigeria's foreign exchange market. And, they said, I think yesterday, the dollar was 9.70 to a dollar. Naira was 9.70 to a dollar. And the rise in crude oil prices by 7.5% to 85.89 dollar per barrel in August is what is really affecting this. Also, they mentioned that the diesel price has also risen to about 8,000 and above. These are some of the things that are, affecting this price, and we may likely have an increase in our pump price because marketers are now losing a lot of money. This was really detailed. A lot of money they are investing. So if you invest about there's a way they broke it down here, 20.4 billion to import 37.5 million litres of the product. You stand the risk of losing 260 million while generating only 22 billion as sales revenue.
You need to break that down.
Do business, yes.
And lose money.
And lose money like that. So we may likely have, now how much will we now buy the fuel?
Any other story? Go in, Tribune. Yeah, okay. Tribune. Curfew in Kano as Serena sacks governor. Reps undercover 45 million barrels sold at 45 million naira at Lagos port in 2022. U.S. court orders Chicago University to release Tinubu's academic record. Delta, court admits 69 gay wedding suspects to 500,000 naira bail each. And over 5.2 trillion naira accrued to Federation account in 6 months from FAC.
Yeah,
okay, which story?
took the story from Delta. We remember we had taken it to the group of gay suspects. They were supposed to be at a wedding, allegedly. So they said 69 of these gay suspects have been apprehended, as we know, and we remember they were paraded as well. And now they have been released on bail. They admitted bail with a sum of 500,000 each and 2 sureties, and their sureties have to reside within the F-Road jurisdiction. The police really wanted to keep them in for longer, but their lawyer was able to argue that this is not a major, there's a capital offense that they had, this wasn't a capital offense, and so they were allowed bail, and then they've been let go, at least for now. But this matter is still in court. As we remember, the police was like, this is such a serious case, they're going to make sure that they fight this to the very end. So now they're out on bail. We'll see how this continues in court.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to take a follow-up story with the crude, because remember we've been accusing a jury about the issue of Dangote refinery starting up in time. So there was a message I got from a jury specifically saying that based on, and the reports are that Dangote refinery will receive its first cargo of crude oil in 2 weeks and finally produce its first refined petrol on the 30th of November 2023. Diesel and jet fuel refining are also expected to commence by next month. This is according to the group executive director of the company, Mr. Devakumar Edwin, who says he's eager to receive the first batch of crude now. So indeed, according to this message from Mr. Ajuri Ngalale, Dangote refinery will resume work in the coming weeks, because we've been on this case as regards if Dangote indeed will resume this year. In fact, they told us September, was it August? Now it was September, so August, starting from August. Now it's moved to September. Okay, so they're saying that by November, we get the first.
But should we rejoice? He's still going to import crude to sell. So
but for now, at least we have a refinery. We're screaming for it.
It's not your refinery.
It is Nigeria's refinery.
How?
Because it's a Nigerian.
How?
We have a portion of it now.
Yes.
It's not fully.
It's our own.
Let's not always preempt the
country.
Let's not always preempt him.
We'll be earning foreign exchange for our country.
Let's not preempt the worst. Let us believe and trust the system. Some of us are optimists, regardless of the hair. So let us trust and not assume that when you sell school to private sector, it's meaning something else.
See the one that you are rushing us now. We cannot take treatment.
That is all we can take on today's front page. It's Thursday. Oh, please don't Yimilori. It's Thursday. We are registered today. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we gist. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.